Ron DeSantis has built his political career on bold, often controversial moves. Now, as governor of Florida, DeSantis has set his sights on a new target pro-Palestinian activism, particularly on college campuses. He claims these measures are necessary to combat terrorism and anti-Semitism, but critics see a thinly veiled attempt to stifle dissent and control the narrative on Israel-Palestine. DeSantis's recent policies represent a dramatic escalation in the fight against what he calls the radical left. His supporters, however, applaud his decisiveness and his willingness to take on powerful institutions. The focal point of this battle is Florida's education system, long considered a bastion of academic freedom. The implications of these policies extend far beyond Florida. One of DeSantis's most controversial moves was his order to expel foreign students who expressed support for Hamas on social media. This unprecedented action sent shockwaves through universities, raising concerns about due process and free speech rights. Further escalating tensions, DeSantis championed legislation that restricts students' ability to protest on campus. Critics argue that this legislation is designed to silence dissent, particularly from marginalized groups who rely on protests to amplify their voices. The consequences of these policies are already being felt on Florida campuses. The chilling effect of these policies extends beyond students and faculty. Journalists covering these issues report facing increased scrutiny and intimidation from authorities. DeSantis's crackdown on dissent has also emboldened right-wing groups, who now feel empowered to silence opposing viewpoints. The erosion of academic freedom in Florida is part of a larger national trend. This coordinated attack on free speech and academic freedom poses a grave threat to democracy. DeSantis didn't stop at silencing individuals. He took aim at entire organizations, leading the charge to ban Students for Justice in Palestine, SJP, from Florida campuses. In a move that further marginalizes Palestinian voices, DeSantis has mandated the removal of diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs from Florida universities. Going beyond Florida's borders, DeSantis has imposed sanctions on Iran, accusing the Islamic Republic of supporting terrorism and posing a threat to Israel. To reinforce his commitment to Israel's security, DeSantis has allocated significant funds to enhance security at Jewish schools and institutions in Florida. Critics argue that DeSantis's actions are part of a broader pattern of silencing dissent and consolidating power. The targeting of pro-Palestinian activism is particularly concerning because it conflates criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism. DeSantis's policies have drawn condemnation from human rights organizations, academics, and free speech advocates across the political spectrum. Legal challenges are underway, and student groups are organizing protests and campaigns to resist these policies. The outcome of this battle will have profound implications for the future of academic freedom and the right to dissent in Florida and beyond. The question remains, what does this mean for the future of freedom in Florida? DeSantis's supporters argue that he is simply restoring law and order, protecting students from harmful ideologies, and combating anti-Semitism. However, critics fear that DeSantis is dismantling the very foundations of a free and open society. The battle over free speech and academic freedom in Florida is a microcosm of a larger struggle playing out across the United States. As political polarization intensifies, the stakes for free expression have never been higher. The future of Florida, and indeed the nation, may very well depend on the outcome of this struggle.